Let's go to Lamar.
Okay.
Another season, disappointing loss in the playoffs. What does Lamar this season have to do in the postseason? What does he at least have to do this year in the postseason to get some pressure off of him?
He has to play well enough that if he loses, people can't blame him.
Great point.
Like, he has to leave the field, take him down the field, drive, put him in the lead. With under 2 minutes to go, a minute some change. The guys, not being arrogant, I'm just saying, and just figuratively speaking, guys, I did my job. I'm off the field. Defense stop us, and we go into the Super Bowl.
Like Josh Allen against the Chiefs with, what was it, 13, 15 seconds? That was the Bills' defense.
You have to do it. He has to do that because, listen, we know he's dynamic. We know he makes some plays with legs, feet, and legs and feet. With legs and arms, we get all that. He made some good plays in the postseason, but he has to leave the field this postseason and they be in the lead.
Yeah, because
if it comes down to him, it's a drive. You got to put us in. We need 6, or we need to put us in position to get a field goal.
Right.
And that damn horny ass Justin Tucker, God, he's horny. He's horny, man. Just horny for no reason. So Lamar has to have him in position to win the game. Far as the defense go, put him on the defense. That's what he has to do. That's the only way, Day. He has to get them in position to have the game won. Yeah. And if we lose, it's the defense fault. Because when I left the field, we was winning.
Yeah, because one thing that I don't like about this past postseason,
sound like Chief Keef. Go ahead.
Is that people try to blame Mark Andrews for that loss with him dropping that 2-point conversion. Lamar had 2 turnovers that game? He had 2 turnovers.
Definitely Mark Andrews' fault.
That play, yes, but that game was Lamar Jackson's fault. 100%. He had 2 turnovers. You want to know something interesting about last postseason? Yeah. The 2 quarterbacks that made the Super Bowl didn't have a single turnover in the postseason until the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Players, both Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. Yeah. I think it was the first 2 rounds of the playoffs that they played in, or something like that, or throughout the whole postseason. Other quarterbacks had more passing yards than them, but they had more turnovers. Right. The 2 QBs with no turnovers made the Super Bowl last year.
That's impressive.
We lost the Super Bowl. A big contributing factor 2 years ago was that fumble return for a touchdown by Jalen Hurts. Right. Turnovers matter in the postseason. Yeah. You are not going to, with the stat that I just laid out, you're not going to have 2 turnovers in one game and expect to win. You're not. Yes, Mark Andrews dropped a crucial 2-point conversion. I get it.
That was a ball game.
It was. But you wouldn't have even been in that situation if you didn't turn the ball over 2 times.
But he fixed it.
No, ain't no fixing it because we fixed it. Jalen Hurts still balled off after his turnover that led. Hold up. Jalen Hurts had a turnover, fumble, return for a touchdown. He came back, he fixed it because he balled out. But you won't even be in that position if you don't fumble or turn it over to begin with, is what I'm saying. You don't fix it, Q.
He fixed it.
How?
He took him back down the field and had him in position to win a game. He made the right pass. The guy was wide open. He fixed it.
But the Bills scored off of that turnover. How is that fixing it? They won't even score if you don't turn over. So you're not even behind if you don't turn it over.
It happened. But that was the Mark Andrews play. Wasn't that a 2-point conversion?
It was a 2-point.
Right, and that was going to essentially win the game.
Yeah, right. Or tie it up. I forgot which one it was.
I said, okay, well, that's what I'm saying. Had they not got down there and then had the 3 and out or went for a 4th down, turnover on downs, it's over, he walking on the sideline pissed off, I get it. But he fixed his problem because He made up for it. He got him back down there, got him in position, got the touchdown. Now we need a 2-point conversion. He was wide open, man. Wide open.
But it would not, they would have been up by a score and a half. They would have been up 8 points.
That was past tense.
It matters.
Can I not make up for what I did? Short memory, right? Short memory.
Yes, but it happened. That's what I'm saying. It made it difficult. It made it more difficult for you to win the game because you turned it over twice.
I know, but now you crying over spilled milk. That's what you're doing.
No, I'm talking about something that every play in an NFL game matters. Q, you know this. Yeah. Forget. Yes, of short-term memory. Yes, right. But you can. It happened. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. Just because you say short-term memory.
But I made up for it though. I got us back down there and we scored. Now I got to hit the 2-point conversion. Listen, he made the ball hit the guy in the worst possible place, his hands, right? Mm-hmm. Lamar threw the perfect pass, wasn't too high. He had to, it hit him.
I'm not taking away from the fact that Mark Andrews should have caught it.
Oh, it sounds like.
No, what I'm saying is,
I'm can't shit on Lamar in this situation.
Oh, I'm doing it. What I'm saying is, I'm not blaming that loss on Mark Andrews.
Who are you blaming it on?
The 2 turnovers from Lamar Jackson.
Okay, you keep saying 2 turnovers. We know it, but
they were ugly. But they were terrible turnovers.
That was horrible.
They were terrible.
That was horrible.
And they led to points. That's the worst part. They led to points. What I'm saying is, you would not even be in that. He dropped the ball. That was terrible by Mark Andrews. But you're not in that position. The best case scenario, you're winning. That touchdown could
hold on to something, dude. That's not there. We know the 2 turnovers.
It contributes.
They won this.
That's
ugly.
all I'm saying. It contributes.
It was ugly, but it was like Jonathan Majors ugly.
It contributes.
It does. But when you make a mistake like that, it's whatever football, whatever what we talking about, and we still got time on the clock, and we got okay. You know, the whole my bad.
Right.
That coach on Last Chance, you told his players, no more my bads. I don't want to hear my bad no more. And you get back down there, 2 crucial turnovers, but the game wasn't over.
Right, of course
you
it's not.
came back and took the lead.
Yeah.
Right?
Go ahead.
Right? Mm-hmm. You took the lead.
Did they took a lead in that game? I'm not sure if they did.
Well, the Mark Andrews play.
It would have tied it. Let's see. But I'm not neglecting the fact that.
But you holding on to them turnovers like crazy
because it mattered in the postseason. The stat I just laid out.
But But you know what? That's all in the game, though. That's all in the game.
But what I'm saying is, because of how crucial turnovers were in the postseason last year, it obviously matters. Every QB that had a turnover, at least just one turnover in the postseason before the Super Bowl, didn't make the Super Bowl. Hurts and Mahomes didn't have a single turnover in the postseason, and they made the Super Bowl. So obviously it matters. That's all I'm saying. Obviously it matters.
Yeah, the 2-point conversion with Mark Andrews would have tied the game.
Yeah, would have 27-27.
Right, it would have tied the game. It would have tied the game. Late in the fourth quarter with 90 seconds left on the clock.
Baltimore never had the lead in that game. It was tied at best.
So that would have tied the game. So with my 2 turnovers, I was still able to gather myself enough, get the troops, quote unquote, down the field, and then have opportunity to tie the game.
But you're not. But my point is, you're not even playing from behind without those 2 turnovers.
Right. So
they were down the whole game.
But
the Ravens were.
You can't do nothing about it, though. You can't do nothing about it.
You damn sure can't do nothing about it if you turn the ball over and the Bills score off of it. Exactly. That's my point.
Right. So he already hit the 2 turnovers, but then they caught back up, and now we got the 2-point.
They never caught back up. The only time they were going to catch back up was towards the end to tie it. That's
what I'm saying. Yeah. You was able to try to catch back up. Well, try to catch back up. Well, they caught up a little bit. They said they didn't have opportunity. They had the opportunity.
They were close to tying it, but then they turned the ball over.
No. I'm talking about. So you keep talking about the old stuff.
The drop is old. If that's how we're going, the drop is old.
No, but which one? Mark Andrews?
Yeah.
That was the latest play.
Yeah.
That was the latest thing.
Yeah.
That could have tied the game up, and you would forgot about the Lamar Jackson.
It was a huge play, but my thing is that play, it would have not come down to a 2-point having a score with a minute 30 and a 2-point conversion if you're up. If you're up. Imagine the Eagles in the Super Bowl, instead of scoring touchdowns, we turn the ball over, and it's a neck-and-neck game. Do you feel confident that we would have won against Mahomes?
Why do we keep going back to the Eagles, man?
Didn't you pull out Randy Moss and Tom Brady earlier? I thought that was a crazy comparison.
It's Eagles.
Because it's the basis of the show. We just won a Super Bowl.
I know, but you keep
so of course I'm gonna use it.
They got.
Listen, you're just a salty Cowboys fan.
I can't wait till we sweep y'all this year. And don't get missing like Carmen San Diego.
Q. I have on record you saying y'all going to sweep us. Yeah. Y'all going to beat us week 1. I literally have a folder in my computer saved of all the clips that you've been talking crazy with. It's going to be ugly week 1. It's going to be ugly. But my whole thing is this. Yeah. And I'll end it on this, and then you can get your take off. My thing is this. I'm not cutting Lamar slack.
Wow.
This dude is a 2-time, and I loved when they drafted Lamar Jackson because we traded with them for them to even get Lamar. And when they drafted him, I texted my brother. I'm like, yo, y'all got a good one. I put it on Snapchat. Yo, Ravens got a good one. I rock with Lamar, but enough is enough. How many times are we going to make the postseason and you don't play at that MVP level in the postseason? You have the Baltimore Ravens defense, and you mean to tell me you can't make it to the Super Bowl? The Baltimore Ravens have had a great defense since I started watching football at 6, 7 years old.
Yeah.
They've always had a defense good enough to make it to the Super Bowl. You're a 2-time MVP. During the regular season, you're amazing. But when you get to the playoffs, you don't play nowhere near the level that you do on those MVP seasons. If you ask me, Lamar Jackson is slowly turning into the AFC Dak Prescott. I'm not cutting no slack. He's a 2-time MVP. And he tanks in the playoffs. I'm not cutting no slack. And he knows it too.
That was, again, you keep saying stuff that's not true. He showed up. He showed up last football season, postseason. He overcame.
Against the Steelers, he did.
He overcame the 2 turnovers. He overcame it. He did. They drove the right back down the field. He overcame it. He threw it to a guy that was wide open. He made the perfect pass, and he dropped it. That would have tied the game. He didn't help Lamar Jackson out. You know, in baseball, the bats got to help out the good pitching. He didn't help him out.
Did Lamar help out the team with the 2 turnovers?
No, he didn't, but he made up for it. Because at the end of the game, he got him in position to tie the game. In the red zone, or the 5-yard line or something crazy. Nice play call by the OC. Lamar delivered the ball perfectly. O-line did their job, but one guy didn't do his job. Some bum, something called Mark Andrews.
He's not a bum. You're going to draft him on your fantasy team.
Well, I probably will.
Yeah, he's not a bum. He's not a bum.
Yeah, but the common denominator of this conversation, Lamar Jackson definitely has to play superb in the postseason and do what he hadn't done in the postseason ever, and that's get over this hump and get to the Super Bowl. That's the only way you could do that. Like I said, it won't be his fault. When he lead the field, they need to be winning, and that's it.
Yeah, simple. All right, last take. We're staying in the AFC North. We're going back to Pittsburgh, or former Pittsburgh, if you would, and former and current Pittsburgh, if you would. So Ben Roethlisberger recently in an interview said that he would take Aaron Rodgers in his prime over Patrick Mahomes. What are your thoughts on that, QCB?